Nation Station. Welcome to Nittany Nation Game Day.
Another week and another loss.
Clifford to the air. And picked off.
Penn State returned home with a whimper.
The head coach, every assistant, every person in the program, obviously we're not doing a good enough job. That's all of us.
Some questions need answered, like at quarterback.
Went in there and executed what I had to execute, but just wasn't enough.
Someone will have to step up. Penn State has history on its side this week, but will it be enough? Nittany Nation Game Day starts right now.
Had a nice little turn in that one.
Ooh, yes,
Got
it
a
is.
little goosebumps. Hey, hi, hello. Welcome to Nittany Nation Game Day. I'm Peter Terpster, as always, short on a box, and we're back on your TV to talk about too much corn.
Why would we talk about? Oh, Iowa, corn. Iowa's corny, Nebraska corny, and you are the corniest of corn. So how do we get to all this corn, Peter?
Well, Penn State's winless, that's how. The Nittany Lions just took a 30-23 loss at Nebraska this last weekend. Penn State had to bench its starting quarterback, Sean Clifford, after he threw another interception and had another fumble return for a touchdown. The comeback fell short, and 2020 is the year that just keeps on giving.
Yeah, so Penn State is 0-4, and you have plenty of almost beating Nebraska this past weekend, and a couple other things.
Backup quarterback Will Levis almost became the hero, and now we have some questions at quarterback.
Clifford to the air. And picked off.
This week, we got a good old-fashioned quarterback competition.
We have not, made that decision or announced that decision yet.
On one hand, you have the returning starter in Sean Clifford. He won the Nittany Lions 10 games last year, but he's already one interception away from tying his season total from 2019.
Clifford again towards Dotson's way, and it's picked off again.
On the other hand, you have Will Levis. One start, one win. But he does provide a spark from time to time, like you saw against Nebraska.
Obviously, Will came in and did some good things and put himself in this position, and he's earned it. No different than Sean had earned the ability to be our starting quarterback last year and our starting quarterback to start the season.
Seeing Sean after the game, he was as poised as he would be, throughout his day to day. Regarding that quarterback conversation, I'm not aware of what's going to happen. Regardless, I know I'm comfortable with winning with either one. So here's a look at Penn State's quarterback comparison. Sean Clifford obviously has more passing attempts. He obviously has experience on his side, but he already has 6 interceptions this season. And as you just heard, he only threw 7 picks all last year. We're only 4 games into this thing. Now, Will Levis has been used traditionally more as a runner, kind of a wildcat situation in the past, but Coach Franklin says he has a cannon, and we are going to see who makes the start against the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Now, Penn State did show some life and had its closest game since the Indiana game. Plenty of things have added up for Penn State. It was a weird offseason, pandemic, injuries, career-ending conditions, and 4 new coaches. 3 on offense who had to figure it out on the fly.
This would have been the year to have no coaching turnover. If you were fortunate to be one of those programs where you had little to no turnover, that is helpful. The other thing is, did you have spring ball or not? Did you have spring ball or not? That factors in. It's really interesting looking across college football, who had spring ball, who didn't, not only nationally, but also in our own conference.
So it is pretty easy to be frustrated with Penn State football right now, and I can't say I blame you.
You expected a contender, right? Now you can't even place a sure bet on a bowl game. Happy Valley is gray and gloomy and cloudy right now, and the football team is winless. You can't forget about that. But the only way Penn State's going to turn things around is if it avoids all the negativity.
Fumble!
what else can you do? It's time to quit worrying about the interceptions, the tough-to-swallow touchdowns, and the losses. Don't forget, but instead,
that enough is enough mentality. And it's not something you can just come out on Saturdays with. It's something that's going to be trained, that we've been training Sunday, you know what I'm saying, every single day of the week.
Since we're talking silver linings, Penn State has beaten Iowa 6 straight times. The last 3 games have been decided by just 1 score. Now, Coach Franklin is chasing lucky number 7 in a row.
He's always been consistent. He's always led with love. From the time that I was recruited, coming up here watching practice, kind of all the way throughout. He's always been the same, whether we're winning or losing.
After wins, a lot of times you can be harder on guys, and we've talked about that, for 6 years, that even when you win, there's still things that need to get corrected and cleaned up to allow you to continue to win.
Oh, and one more thing. Penn State is wearing its throwback uniform Saturday. Last year, these uniforms featured white shoes, throwback helmets, and more. Reporting from University Park, Peter Terpstra for Nittany Nation. Thanks, me. $1 million question. How does this happen to Penn State, and who are we going to have a quarterback on Saturday?
It has to be Will Levis. Like, you can't look at what happened last week and go back to Sean Clifford. Will Levis is the quarterback right now, and you got to give him a shot. Sean Clifford is a good kid. He always stands up and is accountable, but he's not getting the job done. I mean, some of his interceptions are just like, you're like, really? That's what we're doing right now? It's not like he's constantly under pressure and like he's having to throw off his back foot. Like, he's just missing people. And I think Will Levis has a stronger arm, and the team just seemed to get a spark last week. And I'm not saying the guys hate Sean Clifford, but like, you have to change it up because at this point you're only holding your team back.
It's kind of hard to digest how all this happened because Sean Clifford, traditionally, one of the things he does pretty well is he doesn't throw a lot of interceptions.
Right.
I mean, last year, they did a good job of protecting the ball and everything, and everything is compounded. The lack of the run game through the first 3 games, he's had to carry the load running a lot as well. And if we go with Levis against Iowa, it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of adjust the playbook.
Yeah, I expect to see him. All right, still ahead on Nittany Nation Game Day, we'll show you how those COVID tests are not as simple as you thought.
Plus, believe it or not, basketball season is here, and we hear from Penn State hoops since the head coach stepped down. Next.
Tis the season to be cheersin'. Get cheersin' with all with new holiday drinks at Dunkin'. Send a virtual cheersin' with the Dunkin' app.
Your dining room is the special place in your home where friends and family gather. At Windy Hill Furniture, we have a unique selection of handcrafted one and only tables. Choose from reclaimed barnwood, wide plank, live edge, rare stump-based tables, and more. Limited materials and natural markings make our tables unique and beautiful. Create your lasting dining memories this season with an extraordinary table from Windy Hill Furniture.
We admit the curb appeal of Beer Belly's beverage is a little limited, but for what you lose in closet space, you gain in awesome space. Lagers facing east, imports facing west, and good times available in every square foot. But unless you're one of the more than 500 labels we carry every day, you'll have to settle for the couch. Beer Belly's beverage. It's where beer lives. Find us on Facebook or at beerliveshere.com.
Play your first 24 hours risk-free and get up to $200 back if you don't win.
Tis the season to be cheersin'. Get cheersin' with all with new holiday drinks at Dunkin'. Send a virtual cheersin' with the Dunkin' app.
You're watching WTAJ's Nittany Nation Game Day. Only on WTAJ, your Nittany Nation station. Today's show is brought to you by Patterson Automotive. You're watching Nittany Nation Game Day.
Welcome back. Peters, there's nothing like a big old swap going way up the nose, isn't that right?
I've done it. It's not fun.
Not for COVID.
No, I haven't. Swine flu.
Yeah.
Different story. But you probably guessed Penn State's first opponent every single week is the coronavirus. Now, you have to pass the test to play, and you keep everyone around you healthy doing that as well. James Franklin said after practice on Thursday, Penn State has had 43 false positive tests throughout the season, and he thinks that's the most in the Big Ten. Now, some of those have been even back-to-back, so a COVID test is harder to figure out than you might think.
It can be an emotional roller coaster, throughout the week. You got staff members, that are going through it, and then other guys, GAs or analysts, have to jump into that role for practice that day. I do know, talking to one of our coaches, another school that he used to work at, I think was down six coaches one day, in a practice.
Now, coaches Brent Pry and Terry Smith specifically had scares just this week.
So believe it or not, Peter, despite all of that and all the craziness that's gone on with 0-4 and trying not to get to 0-5 for the first time in
hard turn
program history, we're taking a hard turn to the hardwood. We're going inside. It's a little warmer. It's basketball season this time. So we got to recap the last 6 months or so. Remember, Penn State was set to make the NCAA tournament for the first time in almost a decade, and then COVID kind of canceled, life and everything. The team entered quarantine, and then 1 month before this upcoming season, head coach Pat Chambers resigned after an internal investigation, so assistant coach Jim Ferry takes over for now. And the players, well, they're still trying to wrap their heads around everything.
I still have the privilege to talk to Coach. I just talked to him today, and I think that's the most important thing about all this is that he still wants to be there for me. He's been like a father figure in my life.
It's just like a loss of words, like confused, not understanding, just the reason, trying to see why he not coaching with us, why did he get fired, instead why did he step down, everything like this.
No, I'm not at peace with it, and I will not be at peace with it until everybody has answers onto why, but that is all I have on the subject.
Penn State opens the season next Wednesday at home against Drexel.
Now, some more hoops news. Former Penn State forward Lamar Stevens did not hear his name on NBA draft night. Boo! He was projected as a second-round pick. That's wild, man. He signed a free agent deal, though, with the Cleveland Cavaliers as soon as the draft finished up. So he's going to get his shot to make it in the league, and he would have been the top scorer in school history if Corona had not shortened the season. Now it is time for him to get to work.
Yeah, and it's good. He goes to a good situation and everything, so very happy for him. Penn State basketball, they went from the top of the mountain, and now they're just kind of trying to keep the rig on the road.
Just to give everyone a little bit of context, I mean, we're talking Pat Chambers stepped down like a month before the season, and we heard from the players.
They're pissed.
Yeah,
they're
mad.
pissed.
We heard from the players for the first time this week, and they're obviously just like not happy with it. And because that's the coach that brought them in, and we don't know why, we don't know all the information, and the players don't, and I think that's why they're kind of frustrated.
Yeah,
as well.
exactly. I mean, you saw they still want answers, and they're going to try to figure that out in the upcoming months and whatnot. All right, coming up next, one former Penn State trainer is changing the athletic performance and recovery game with a twist.
Your news every hour in primetime is on News Nation on WGN America. American veterans potentially exposed to toxic fumes. News Nation investigates why sick vets can't get the care they need and talk to John Stewart, who's fighting to help the victims.
We always have money for war. We never have money for the warfighter.
News Nation covers your nation every night starting at 8, 7 Central on WGN America. Go to WGNAmerica.com to find WGN America on your cable or satellite provider.
At Patterson Automotive, we're under new ownership, new management, and we have a new way of doing business. We're proud to treat our customers and employees the way they should be treated, like family. Come by to see our multiple showrooms and say hello or shop online. Whether you're looking for new and used cars or scheduled maintenance, from sales to service, at Patterson Automotive, you're our Patterson priority.
Time is running out to switch your Medicare plan to Highmark for next year. Our licensed Medicare advisors have extended hours from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. 7 days a week. Give them a call at 833-356-8348 as soon as possible so they can enroll you on the spot. This is your last chance to switch to an affordable Highmark plan with premiums as low as $0 a month and get the other amazing benefits you need, like $0 primary care doctor's visits, $0 generic prescriptions and dental allowances. Plus, you can get access to all major hospital networks in the area and other community hospitals. Get enrolled with a Medicare plan from Highmark now by calling 833-356-8348 before time runs out. That's 833-356-8348 before the December 7th deadline. Then get ready to take on 2021.
I'm ready now. You're watching WTAJ's Nittany Nation Game Day. Only on WTAJ, your Nittany Nation station. Today's show is brought to you by Patterson Automotive. You're watching Nittany Nation Game Day.
Welcome back to the show. It is story time.
I love story time. In a sport like football, where the wear and tear on a body is more significant with each game played, recovery has shifted its attention to the forefront of the sport, and a former Penn Stater is changing the game.
My father wanted something different for his firstborn son, something unique, something where never forget about.
He's a man, he's an athletic trainer, he's
Superman Barrow.
You heard that correctly.
People kept asking, you know, it kind of gets annoying. It's kind of like, hey, it's just a name. You know, why do you care? But then watching Superman on TV, the movies, and it's kind of like, wait a minute. Like, people are asking for a reason because this is uncommon.
After realizing his powers, Barrow spent 3 years with Rutgers football as an athletic training intern. And then Barrow swung a job as an athletic trainer with the Chicago Bears.
It was like a dream. Like you said, you see these guys every single day. I remember the first week when Urlacher called my name for the first time. It was like, he knows who I am. I mean, of course, having the name Superman, you know, it's funny.
But it also opened his mind to their kryptonite, injuries.
You see the vulnerabilities. You see what scares them. You see, you know, when they get hurt, I mean, these guys are in tears because for them, they work so hard for this moment.
In 2015, Superman entered a phone booth and wound up in Happy Valley, joining the Penn State football team as assistant trainer.
He did the best ankle tape job, so everybody wanted to line up and go to him.
Trace McSorley, if you ever see the 2016 season, you always see me with a towel in the water with Trace McSorley every time he went outside on the field. And we built that. It's kind of like, you know, if he didn't see me, he's like, Soup. You know, first person he's looking for is me.
In 2018, Superman took flight on his own path, opening his Fortress of Solitude, B4 Club Therapy, a human performance center designed to help muscle recovery and make athletes more mobile and flexible.
I want you to feel a part of something big, relaxing, to where this is what I know for me being in a professional setting and college settings, coming in the training room and, you know, just being relaxed, phased. I want to give that same environment to somebody walking in.
And using state-of-the-art technology, Barrow is changing the athletic performance and recovery game. His first client, Steelers safety and former Penn Stater, Marcus Allen.
The Penn State defense, Marcus Allen, his 11th tackle.
Superman knows the athlete's everyday life. For him to be around there and understand what a player needs, it helps a lot.
Superman doesn't need a cape to validate his hero status. His clients do the talking.
Everybody's looking for just what's that next edge to just get over, you know what I mean? Just to stay up on top of your body. And, you know, I told them about my guy's suit, and they said they wanted to try him out, and they love him.
Yeah, shout out to Superman and Marcus Allen for letting me in on one of their sessions. You know, the big thing Allen says that Superman has really helped him with is kind of limit his soft tissue injuries. And, you know, he shows like his workouts on Instagram and they show how flexible he is. And now teammates on the Steelers are like, dude, hook me up with your man Soup. And so, like, he's continuing to expand his business. But, yeah, you know, having a name Superman.
I've been laughing this whole time because I cannot believe that the guy's name is actually Superman.
He's a true gem. And, and hopefully he can continue to get his business off the ground. But he goes to Pittsburgh every week, drives 2 hours to go help out with Marcus and whatnot. So very dedicated right now, but, a great connection to Pennsylvania.
All right, coming up next, we have an eye on the Hawkeyes. History favors Penn State, but we know this year is not like any other. Next.
For over 40 years, Joel Confer Toyota has provided the utmost customer service while serving local communities. Stop in today and let Alan Hall use his 44 years of experience to help you find your new Toyota vehicle. Log in today at joelconfer.com or visit our showroom at Joel Confer Toyota of State College.
It's a disaster. Everyone's seen that video. Judges are supposed to be neutral referees. That video was fire.
We can't just be impartial. We have to be seen that way, too.
I know what it feels like to be torn between being black and doing your job.
No matter how you spin it, it's not a good look. The one moment I speak up, this is what happens. And now I have someone else to worry about. Buckle up.
A new All Rise, Monday at 9/8 Central on CBS.
As you can see, through the years we've done a lot of changing and growing. In our business, LMR Tires in Lycans Market has grown to become a full-service garage with 5 locations. One thing that hasn't changed, LMR Tires still offers the best prices on a large selection of brand-name tires and quality, affordable automotive repair. No matter where you live in Central PA, LMR Tires should be your one-stop shop for new tires and auto repair. Hi, I'm Caleb Lykins. Come and visit any of our LMR Tire locations for a quote, or call or visit us online.
There's something that's missing, and I want to tell you that something missing is Jesus.
It was the beginning of a road of redemption for me.
There's forgiveness, there's a new life, there's everything in trusting God. Just take that one step, that's all it takes.
I felt like a new person, brand new creation. I felt like I had had a weight lifted off my shoulders.
Watch The 700 Club, weekdays.
Hi, I'm Carrie Confer. You know, I've driven Toyota trucks most of my life. Silly boys, trucks are for girls. Come see us at Joel Confer Toyota.
Joel Confer Toyota in State College. Toyota, let's go places.
You're watching WTAJ's Nittany Nation Game Day. This segment is proudly presented by Duncan. You're watching Nittany Nation Game Day.
Welcome back. So now we turn our attention to the opponent. It's the eye on the enemy time, Peter.
Iowa had a slow start. Since then, the Hawkeyes have been beating teams to sleep. Our guy, Corey Roldan, has his eye on the Hawkeyes, and he joins us now with more.
We are midway through the Big Ten football season, and after 2 tough losses earlier in the year, the Iowa Hawkeyes have dominated their last 2 opponents, outscoring them 84-14. Now the Hawkeyes turn their attention to Penn State, a team they've struggled with the last several seasons. Penn State has won the last 6 meetings, and although the Nittany Lions are 0-4, head coach Kirk Ferentz isn't overlooking them.
And then basically on Sunday, our focus turned entirely to Penn State, trying to get ready for them. And no big surprise when you look at Penn State. They're a very impressive team. Pretty much talented at every position.
Their record is almost irrelevant. They're a really talented team, and they're really close in a lot of these games, And I think that the worst thing we could do would be to look at their record and take these guys lightly, because they're a really talented team.
A big reason for the Hawkeyes' recent success has been the play of their defense, in the nation-leading 61 interceptions since 2017.
That's simple. I mean, we're in the film room pretty much all the time, 24/7, especially SDBs, where we put in extra hours in the film room. We see the things that officers are trying to do, and then Coach Parker does a great job in breaking down the other team's offense and knowing what could potentially hurt us going on into the game.
This week, the Hawkeyes will look to push their winning streak to 3 and get their first win against Penn State since 2010. I'm Corey Roldan, Hawkeye headquarters.
All right, Jack, we know what Iowa likes to do. They like to run the rock.
And eat corn.
And eat corn. The main man, running back Tyler Goodson, he averages nearly 100 yards a game. Iowa is averaging 183 yards rushing a game. Now, that seems to be on the low end. You keep in mind, they lost their first 2 games. Took them a little bit of time to get going, too. Mekhi Sargent, also another player you got to keep an eye on in the dangerous Iowa backfield. Now, back by popular demand. Jack, you want to talk cash money?
Let's do it. We go, what do we call it? Oh, yeah. Let's get Jack. It's time to get Jack, where I picked 3 games against the spread. All right, Peter. 1-2 last week, so we're 7-5 on the year. Here we go. Bounce back week. Clemson gets Trevor Lawrence back, probably the best player in college football. They're laying 35 against Florida State. You would have never thought of that 20 years ago, but yeah, take Clemson in the 35. Ohio State, top 10 matchup with Indiana. They're laying 20.5. I think Ohio State's just way better than Indiana. I think Indiana comes back to earth this week. In Northwestern, they are getting 7.5 points from Wisconsin. Another big game in the Big Ten. I think this is a very close game. I don't know if Northwestern wins this game, but I think they keep it within a touchdown.
So you went 7-5. Not bad. You know, I gave you some flack last week.
No, I mean, I deserved it. I mean, I was way over my skis, but you know what? Water finds its level, as they say.
Okay,
So
I don't even know what that means.
It's a very common. Well, we'll talk about it.
Game time
we'll
and TV. Never heard that one before. Throwing all sorts of stuff at us today. Iowa, Penn State, 3:30 p.m. On the Big Ten Network. This one at Beaver Stadium. Of course, they shut everything down. Everything's blocked off. No tailgating. Don't go to the game. Don't try. Don't get in trouble. All right, Big Ten East standings as well. Check it out.
Yeah, Penn State's the only team without a win. That's not a good thing. And Indiana, top of the Big Ten East, just like we all predicted.
Yeah,
Peter.
totally. Take a look at the Big Ten West, and when he says the only team, we mean the only team in the Big Ten without a win is Penn State. In the Big Ten West, you're going to have Northwestern at 4-0 at the top there. Wisconsin.
Eventually we are, there we go. That's how we do it right there. Northwestern, they're trying to, take down my Wildcats right now.
Was Minnesota kind of like a flash in the pan? I don't know.
Yeah, no, if you look at Minnesota and Michigan, they're in a lot worse situations than Penn State is. So, take some solace in that and whatnot. So, all right, what else we got?
White shoes, baby. That's
white
what we
shoes.
Got. Yeah, teams wearing white shoes. Generations of greatness. Uniforms, white shoes, kind of these throwback helmets with the numbers on them.
Quick prediction.
28-21 Iowa. I've been picking Penn State this whole time. I just can't do that in good conscience until they show me that they can play.
If Will Levis starts, Penn State 30-17. If he doesn't, my prediction doesn't count.
Okay.
Those are the rules.
Good enough. All right. Oddly specific, but hey, next up, Penn State trips to Michigan. We'll catch you next week. Okay, bye.